Welcome back to River Rat Garage, and today we're looking at a garage sale barn find special, and that is a 1977 Huffy. It's a Thunder Trail bicycle BMX, which is kind of a unique thing. I think this is the first time Huffy itself got involved into the BMX bicycles. This one here has a lot of cool things about it that I'll point out here in a minute. As you can see, it's a little on the, it's just a little on the rough side. It's missing some pieces. It's missing the fenders that were plastic. And I'm going to be honest with you, if you build a BMX bicycle with, plastic fenders, that doesn't make much sense to me. Mostly because, the boys tear these things up quite often. Anyway, it's fairly original. There's a few things that I'll go through and point out to you on this. Let me get the camera over here so that way you can see what I'm talking about. Right here, as you can see, it has the Huffy seat and has some of the pedals, the original Huffy pedals, which are not in ultra bad shape. We could take them apart, clean them up, and of course it does not have the original Huffy rims on it. It has I don't think they're Schwinn, but they're Schwinn-like in that if you look at this here, this is flat. Huffy's have like a 45-degree and then it comes to a flat. So the Huffies are different than this, and it's kind of hard to describe. I don't have one right here in front of me. These also came with plastic wheels. I call plastic. Well, here's a example of one off of a mongoose, and as you can see, it's all plastic, and which was probably the first time Huffy had brought in plastic wheels on their bicycles. As you can see, it has it's not a sissy bar, it's just a support bar that goes underneath, and the seat itself has it is a little bit pleated, but if you call it that. But anyway, it is padded a little, very minimal, and has the original chain guard on it, and of course the supports. It has the straight bar on it, which is I think this is the first time Huffy had the straight, other than going way back, involved in a 20-inch bicycle. This is a 20-inch, let's get that out. And anyway, it does have the original handlebars, and of course, as you look, you can see it has the original hand grips, which are in fairly good shape, which is surprising because you know how us boys used to just bang them around. This thing here has been kind of set up for a younger kid because it's obviously the steering wheel set back. Here's the highlight of this bike, and that is the Springer front end that it has. Huffy also had a monoshock that went from here to here, but they didn't have the Springer front end with that. So I don't have a monoshock in stock right now to talk about. So if I had one, I'd wheel it out so you can see the difference. But they were kind of cool in that they had a kind of a shock, if you want to call it that, with the springs in it, and it gave the front end the bouncy thing that we all kind of like. These bikes weren't necessarily trick bikes, and but they did kind of look unique in that. I'm going to say right now, I'm not necessarily a big fan of this fork setup because this fork goes backwards on it, which kind of looks wrong to me. I'm thinking that they should be like the other traditionals, but if I took this apart and spun that around, it brings the wheel back to this area here where your feet would hit it with the pedals, which are the original pedals. And, you know, it just doesn't work. Anyway, it still has the original kickstand on it, and the seat stuff. And of course, as you can see, I paid, it says $5, but I actually gave him 4 because all I had was 4 ones. It says it needs a new tube. Well, I'm kind of thinking, I don't think a tube's really going to work good for this. And therefore, I'm going to go ahead and walk you through kind of getting this thing back together, and just get it to where it looks a little bit better, and see what we come up with. Of course, I already told you that I don't know if it did or didn't, but it's missing the fenders, and they were plastic fenders. And why on earth would you put plastic fenders on a bike that's designed to be, well, roughed house? You know, because it's going to be a boy's bike. Let's be real. If it's a girl's bike, they take a lot better care of their bikes, but boys, not so much. You know, we're out jumping ditches, and you know, we're having a good time with it, and unfortunately they get destroyed, and we usually strip them down. The chain guard is usually gone. This thing here, it had a plaque on the front that said, I can't remember what it said, but it did say Thunder Trail on top, and a number. I don't know if you were able to pick your own number or not, or if it just came with a number. And of course, it had right here had another plaque that had Thunder Trail, and of course it was oval, which probably because it could fit inside of all this and look right. It's missing the rear reflector, and of course the wheels are wrong front and back. I've already explained the fact that they should be different than that. Then they're kind of Schwinn. I'm going to say they're Schwinn, but rusty like that, I don't know, unless they're a newer Huffy or some off brand of some sort. Here's the thing. The ID numbers read it to be a 1977, and I think it just needs just a little waxing and stuff will make it, well, you know, will make it a lot better than what it is. Maybe not. Anyway, what we're going to do instead, we're not going to do a full-blown restoration on this. What we're going to do is just make it into a nice little rideable bike, and just, you know, maybe pass it along to the next guy and let them restore it, because I didn't have one of these when I was a younger man, and I've come from the Stingray era, so my like is for Stingrays. And of course, you know, I'm not really a BMX rider, and that's not to say that they're not cool bikes. It's just that, well, they're not my particular style. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started on this. Let me set the camera up to get it where we want it, and it's almost there. It wants to curve around. I don't know why. It likes being a pain in the butt. There we go. What we're doing, we're setting this camera up on the hood of my truck, which is real good. Well, first thing we got to do is, well, let's go ahead and do the steering. I would say steering wheel, but the steering, the handle, well, you know. Anyway, what we're going to do is, this is a fairly simple job, just simply loosen it up, as everybody knows. Let's back this off a little bit more. There we go. I like that a little better. For my big ass to fit inside here, that is wrong. By the way, this is a 9/16 wrench. Yeah, not too tight. Don't want to strip it out. Okay, let's go ahead and flip it over. And ouch. Okay, we're still in the camera view. Not really so much. Let's just drag it over here a little bit. And as you can see, I have pads laid out because, as you know, us kids with the Stingrays, the handlebars kind of curve up and down a little bit, and the chrome on right here in this area, you know, gets scratched all the hell up because well, it's sitting on concrete, gravel, or whatever the hell we had at the time, and well, unfortunately, that just really ruins things. So I put these pads down for whenever I'm redoing a bike. You'll see several others show up, and anyway, let's get started on kind of modernizing this thing up. What I had done is I had the same weekend that I bought this particular bike, I also bought a girl's, what's it say? It says Island Girl by Ozone bicycle. It's a 20-inch. Granted, it's not a Huffy, but it was cheap also. So it was like $5, and it had good tires on it. And although they were all painted teal, it's a fairly recent bike, and well, that's what we're looking for, just getting this bike back on the road. We're not doing a full-on restoration. If I was doing that, I'd be sandblasting this thing and powder coating it, because this is really pretty standard. The stickers are, you know, you go on eBay and look at them, but there's several different places to sell stickers for this bike, so that's not really an issue. But what the issue is I don't want to be painting this and redoing it, you know, in any particular color, because the fenders are plastic. So, you know, you'd have to either find the color that you wanted, or, you know, you'd have to repaint the fenders. And this bike is not something that I'm gonna keep. This is just something I just got, and I rescued it from this garage sale because it was probably it was well on its way to the dumpster. They had a dumpster there. It's kind of an estate sale of sorts, and I figured this thing here was on its way to, well, to the dumpster, because it was fairly late in the day. Well, that front wheel's in good shape. Look at that. There's probably a good half-inch worth of play. But anyway, let's go ahead and get this thing back together. I had already oiled up there we go. Oiled it. Oh God. Okay, we'll stop. Oiled up the chain on that. And it's hot out here, by the way. And so we'll go ahead and we'll get the front tire off. And I think that's what, about 5/8. And let's go ahead and it is. And we'll go ahead. There's a little loose too. See here. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. I don't think you can see the axle, but anyway, the tires, I think we can just put a little air in these tires and they'll be just fine. But you know, for video's sake, I might upgrade this whole a little. Okay, SOS. What's it say on this thing? Marconeri Lorenzo. That's what it says on the rim right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. But anyway, I'm thinking just a little SOS, you know, a couple minutes on the SOS and maybe hose it off, and this thing would just shine like a, well, you know, a brand new wheel. And the tire, a little bit of air in it, maybe a little SOS on the white wall, and I think it'd be just fine. But you know, for video purposes, we're gonna upgrade that up and put some of this stuff. Anyway, I bought this other bike for I don't know if I've covered this, but these also came with a plastic rim. This here's a 24-inch off of a mongoose, and these also had an option of getting a 20-inch rim, and you can well, have that. And of course, I don't think very many people opted for that, because I don't remember ever seeing one with the original rims on it. I did a little bit of searching on YouTube and different search engines trying to come up with stuff. It was hard enough to come up with this rare Springer front end, which is something that's just not really shown too much on the interweb. But anyway, we'll go ahead and get started on this front fender. I have as you can see, this bike that I'm parting out to put this one together is was originally teal, and that's loose. That's even better yet. I thought I'd have to get looks like a 3/8, not 3/8, a 5/16. So we'll put get a 5/16 thing on there, and this rim, or Jesus, they always get tight at the very end. You ever notice that? And we'll go ahead and now we could take this all apart, sandblast it, repaint it, put it back on. But you know, the purposes of this video is just to give you guys a thought of, you know, just kind of getting it on the road, because you know, as we both know, you know, something like this is a personal thing, so you don't want to, or you put it back original. But I feel as though a lot of people had these, and they had yellow ones, red ones, black ones, you know, all the above. And you know, there's nothing wrong with wanting to capture your youth and to build a bike like what you had as a younger kid. So anyway, of course, these are the wrong fenders, but these are just what was on that parts bike, and I just want to kind of put it back. I don't think that's the right size. I think it's the wrong size. And try 5/16. And so, okay. Let's go ahead and tighten that down. Don't want it coming loose. What was lucky about this whole fender situation is that it came with brackets on it, and well, the holes that the holes that hold the bracket actually matched up to the Huffy. They're a little bit, I had to wire them just a little bit, but anyway, they matched up, so they're on. Okay, let's go ahead and do the back one here. Here we go again. This back rim, although the tire is in a little bit better shape. That's the biggest I got. Okay, we'll use this is probably a metric wheel off something. So what I'm going to do is I got this metric wrench, special one I bought there at Harbor Freight, which is a great place to buy wrenches, especially the metric variety. And we'll go ahead and unscrew this. There we go. Let's take a look at this. This one here is a 20 by 1.75. This rim here does not have the same markings as the other one, But as you can see, this tire here is to the point, although weather checked really bad, I might keep this here tire because it's a front steer tire for an old 20-inch, and I might just keep that tire. The rim, I don't know if it'll clean up or not. It's not quite as rusty, but I ain't too sure exactly what it fits. It does have the cool what I can't even think of it right now, but anyway, it does have the Bendix brake on it, which lends me to think maybe it's maybe it is a Schwinn. So anyway, let's go ahead and put this off to the side. So what we're going to put on this thing is, I already painted these rims, and I'm just going to go ahead and put this on. It has a, I can't even pronounce it. I would say Exuber or whatever braking system on it. So anyway, and its tires are fairly decent, so we'll just throw this on. And I don't need to worry about the front fender on this, or rear fender on this particular side, because, well, it goes over and above. Oh, put that on there. There we go. And go ahead and, seems to be crooked. Boy, that rim there is a little different. It sits there fairly decent. And it is hot out here, people. And we're out here keeping this bike together. Go ahead and tighten that up a little bit. I don't like having the chain too tight because, well, especially these chains, although I never have had one break on me, they can, and they do sell, which is odd, is the fact is they do sell chains and the links at Walmart. The chains are like 20 bucks, and the links have a couple different links, but anyway, they're like $4.95 or something, so it's almost worthwhile buying a whole new chain, because if the chain broke, there's a reason. And so anyway, we'll go ahead and put the other front tire on it. As you can see, it's a same matching thing. It has these weird washers on it, which I ain't too sure exactly what they do. Oh, it's a little bit thinner. Bigger, I mean. Okay, what's going on? Ouch. This is not going as easy as I hoped. There's a difference in it. Just put the washers on, huh? Take it out. Wheel it in. There we go. Oh shit. Oh, okay. We'll go ahead and use my metric wrench here I have. And we'll go ahead and tighten this down too. And I'm sure that it's already looking better. Oops, that's the wrong way. And we'll tighten it down too. There we go. All we got left to do is, I'll go ahead and put the rear fender on before I flip it back over. What size is that? It's a 3/8 and I need a Phillips. And do you ever notice how you always manage to put the screwdrivers and wrenches in the wrong spot? Well, that's what's happening here. Anyway, let me get that. We're moving right along with this, and Go ahead and feed that in. And, whoa, shit. I don't know if you can't see it from here, but there's like 500 ants here. Oh man, gotta watch this. Good Lord. I guess I end up buying a bike that's infested with ants. Well, that's always nice. Oh my, that's not good. And let's get the screwdriver on here. Get this screwed into place. Good Lord, there's I'm gonna have to call this one here an antie because it is infested with ants. Oh man, they're coming out of the seat. Oh man, that's never good. Okay, we should have brought a socket with me. Can I get to it? No. And here's another problem. Always have the tool close to you. That way, whenever you get attacked by, well, thousands of ants, you have the wrench with you to smack them. Then they don't look happy. Oh man, they do not look happy. As I told you before, this here's a barn find, so we're just putting this together. And, oh, let me sit down. Something I'm gonna love to do is sit down in the middle of an ant-infested mess. And here we go. I wonder if they have army ants in here. You know, today, what's going on with the wrench here? It's not wanting to ratchet. You ever notice sometimes nuts get too tight to turn with your fingers, and then, but not enough to ratchet it. That's always nice. We always like that kind of stuff. Well, is it looking any better? I hope it is after all this. Still not enough. Oh man. But anyway, we're coming on to the end of this here whole process. Come on. There we go. Okay, that looks fairly close. And there's tires and rims and fenders are on it. All we're trying to do here is make this into a nice rideable bike. And it's coming along. We can show you the workings of this front end. As you can see, it bounces pretty good. Haven't oiled it up yet. Okay, get her stood up. Go ahead and kick the stand down. We'll go through this whole thing, see what it looks like. Oh, hey, I got something here I built for this. Special. That's right, a little number plate for the front. Just because, well, why not? And you ever notice how when you ain't got much room, you can't get the nut on there. So screwdriver again. This bike here is ready to roll the way it looks. It does look kind of cool. It does have. I could raise the seat up, but you know, I kind of like the racy motorcycle look that it has. Let's go ahead and take another look at this thing with all the stuff going. Get my finger out from in front of the camera. Where is it? There it is. And anyway, it's kind of the look that it has now. I'm trying to, I'm focusing on everything but it. I'm trying to to see where in the hell it's at. I can't see it. There's a truck. There we go. And there's the bike. And of course there's the front end. It looks 10 times better. And as you can see, it's coming right along. And that's going to be the end of this particular video for right now. Let me get this thing off, because now I got, instead of $8 in it, I got, well, I got $8 in it. So it's gonna, if I decide to sell it, then it'll be a little bit more than that. Anyway, let me get, how come I can't seem to focus in on this thing? Anyway, and there it is, folks, and thank you for looking at River Rat Garage, and hope you have a nice day. Bye.